In what time frame will we settle on the full impacts of the flood? And I don't mean necessarily on civil infrastructure, homes, because that's fairly self-evident, and the states are dealing with it with the assistance of the Commonwealth. But I mean from an environmental perspective, both on the ledger of positive and negative impacts, and how long will be the maybe long-term benefits and maybe long-term effects. When can we have a conversation about that with clarity?
Senator, so we have monitoring programs going on in 7 areas around the basin, and I know the scientists that are doing the monitoring have been having trouble getting out onto the floodplains and into the systems to be able to do the monitoring. But I'd expect that we'll produce an evaluation report at the end of this year, which will give a sense of what's happening in those systems. Obviously from our interest, it's about how much of that is a result of the watering that we've been doing, but I think it will also obviously inform the general state of the health of those areas that we're monitoring in.
This may come back to the department or the authority. Will there also be a review of infrastructure and how it's not only coped or not coped with the floods, but whether improvements could be implemented?
Yes, Senator, I'll ask my colleague, Mr Reynolds, Head of River Ops, to come forward and also answer the question. But yes, Senator, we will, when possible, do a review in relation to both infrastructure and the broader impacts of floods, and that will certainly also help us understand, given the significant nature or volume of water flows, for example, and that will certainly enhance our understanding to determine when issues like constraints are addressed, the benefit that they might bring. But Mr Reynolds might have additional comments.
Thank you. Andrew Reynolds, Executive Director, River Management. So we'll, in the early stages of commencing a post-flood review, our first thing we will do is document all of the decisions and information that we had throughout the event and take stock of that. In terms of infrastructure, we will look at the operating rules and the infrastructure that we use to actually regulate flow in the river. And of course, once you get to flooding of the nature we've had, that far exceeds the capacity of the infrastructure to control those flows. There are a lot of other infrastructure, though, roads and levees that are managed by other entities for other purposes that wouldn't be part of our immediate review of those activities, of course.
So what is your intended timeline? I'm not looking to hold you to a date, but when will we see the benefit of that work?
So our review of our system operations is likely conducted over the next few months. So the next time we're here at estimates, I'd expect I'd have outcomes from that.
You anticipated my question. That completes that line of questioning, Chair.
Thank you.
I'll hand back to you.